When considering the planning part, of course, with any project, the planning part is the first part that has to be considered. The first thing we'd have to consider is what is the purpose of the fence, and that is to say we might be cutting up a paddock to put cattle into another side or something like that. So what is the purpose of the fence, because that will determine the type of fence, the strength of the fence and that sort of thing. In addition to that, then we would need to consider the topography. What I mean by that is that it's always going to be easier for us in terms of constructing the fence initially and ongoing maintenance if we've considered using the natural lay of the land to ensure that the fence, like we might put the fence up along the top of a ridge rather than down in a hollow where you've got all the problem with floodgates that can get washed away during the rainy seasons, that sort of thing. Further part of planning, of course, is then once you've considered what type of fence has got to go up and where it's going to go up, its purpose to block weaners or that sort of thing is going to require a stronger fence than a normal external fence outside of the property, might be a suspension fence. So then we'd need to consider the material that we're going to need. So to do that, you'd need to know how long is the fence, how far we've got to go, what type of material, the spacing of the steel pickets, and the wires, number of wires, the type of wire, strainer posts, corner stays, gateways and all that. So have to allow for all of that equipment and resources to be on site prior to starting the fence. And once you've considered the materials that you're going to require, you need to work out the cost for the project. So you'd have to ascertain from ringing up your suppliers how much wire you'll need and how much that's going to cost, including the amount to deliver it on site. Once it's on site, are you going to store it? Where will it be stored? So you might have to store it particularly with your barbed wire, which sometimes comes in wooden spools. If you store it on the ground, the white ants might eat it before you get around to using it. So the getting the material onto site, you have to allow for the costs of that, and you also have to allow for how you're actually going to get it out onto the site. Another component of your planning then, of course, is your actual wages or your people. Are you going to use contractors to put the fence up? If you're going to put it up yourself, do you have to employ other workers? And you have to consider aspects of workplace health and safety and other employment conditions, such as how much you're going to pay them and tax that's got to be taken out of their wages. So in your overall budget for the fencing, you have to consider all of these different factors.